Hello, and welcome back to BTG Gun and Man, where we explore the tools, the history, and the mindset behind responsible stewardship. What does it truly mean to be prepared? In an age of digital comfort and instant convenience, it's easy to forget that the systems we depend on are, at times, remarkably fragile. When the lights go out, when the lines of communication fall silent, and when help is more than just a phone call away, what tools stand between your family and the unknown? We aren't talking about succumbing to fear. We are talking about embracing responsibility. It's about having the capability to provide, to protect, and to persevere, no matter what challenges arise. Today, we are looking beyond the everyday carry. We are counting down 7 essential survival weapons that every prepared home should consider. These aren't just inanimate objects. They are extensions of our will to live and to protect what matters most. And some of the items on this list might surprise you. This is a topic that requires serious thought and practical wisdom. If you value clear-eyed, no-nonsense analysis of the tools that have shaped our world, I invite you to subscribe and join the BTG community. We're glad to have you here. So settle in, because understanding these tools is the first step towards true readiness. Kicking off our list at number 7, we look to a weapon that combines ancient principles with modern technology, offering silent power and reusable ammunition, the modern crossbow or compound bow. While perhaps not the first tool that comes to mind for home defense, its applications in a long-term survival scenario are undeniable. Crossbows, with historical roots stretching back to ancient China, have evolved into incredibly powerful and accurate tools. Brands like Raven or 10-Point have pushed the boundaries, creating crossbows that deliver blistering speeds and rifle-like accuracy at ethical hunting distances. On the other side of the archery coin, you have the modern compound bow, a more recent invention from the 1960s by Hollis Wilbur Allen. It uses a clever system of cables and pulleys to make it not only more powerful, but significantly easier to hold at full draw, allowing for a more patient, well-placed shot. The strengths of these tools in a survival context are numerous. First and foremost, they are exceptionally quiet. In a grid-down situation where the crack of a rifle might as well be a dinner bell for anyone desperate within a 2-mile radius, silence is a form of currency. The ability to harvest game or even handle a defensive situation discreetly is a massive tactical advantage. Second, the ammunition is reusable. An arrow or a bolt can be recovered, inspected, and used again, which is a significant advantage when resupply is not an option. And let's not discount their power. The kinetic energy delivered by modern crossbows, in particular, can be devastating, fully capable of taking down North America's largest game. Of course, they have their weaknesses. Their rate of fire is, by any measure, extremely slow compared to a firearm. They also require more physical space to operate, making them less than ideal for navigating tight indoor quarters. And while a crossbow is relatively easy to learn, a compound bow demands significant and consistent practice to master. In terms of price, a quality hunting crossbow setup can range from around $400 for a solid entry-level model to well over $2,000 for a high-performance machine. A good, ready-to-hunt compound bow package can be found in the $300 to $1,000 range. Imagine the need to harvest game near a populated area without announcing your position. That is the unique and valuable niche that a bow or crossbow fills. Coming in at number 6 is an item many overlook, yet it serves a critical role in a layered defense, especially for those who want an effective, less lethal option. We are talking about high-concentration oleoresin capsicum spray, better known as pepper spray. Underestimating its utility would be a serious mistake. Developed for self-defense, modern formulations from reputable companies like Sabre Red or Palm are designed to be incredibly potent and reliable. We're not talking about the weak, diluted sprays of decades past. Modern defensive sprays are measured by their percentage of major capsaicinoids, which is the true measure of their inflammatory heat. Their primary strength is their ability to temporarily and overwhelmingly incapacitate an attacker. When deployed correctly, OC spray causes an intense burning sensation in the eyes and on the skin, a feeling of restricted breathing, and most importantly, involuntary eye closure. This gives you a critical window of opportunity, anywhere from 30 seconds to several minutes,
to escape the situation. It is effective against multiple assailants and can be deployed from a safer distance than any contact weapon. The key features are its non-lethal nature, which carries far fewer legal and moral complications, its ease of concealment, and its relative affordability. But it is not a perfect solution. It can be affected by wind, which can cause the spray to blow back onto the user. It is also less effective on individuals with an extremely high pain tolerance or those under the influence of certain narcotics. And, of course, it is a temporary solution. It is a tool for escape, not for ending a fight. You must also consider the different spray patterns. A fogger is good for a crowd, but susceptible to wind. A stream is wind-resistant, but requires more precise aim. And a gel is the most wind-resistant and sticks to the target, but it has a shorter range. A good unit of police-grade pepper spray is inexpensive, often costing between $15 and $40. Consider a scenario where a verbal altercation is escalating rapidly. Deploying pepper spray can halt the aggression instantly, allowing for a safe retreat without the permanent, life-altering consequences of using a more final defensive tool. It's about having options, and pepper spray provides a crucial one. At number 5, we find what is arguably mankind's oldest and most essential tool, a cornerstone of survival itself: the high-quality fixed-blade knife. We are not talking about a flimsy folding pocket knife, but a robust, full-tang blade made from quality steel. A full-tang design means the steel of the blade runs all the way through the handle, as one solid piece. This is non-negotiable for a survival knife, as it provides the strength needed for hard-use tasks, like chopping or prying. Think of legendary brands like ECE knives, whose designs were born from direct experience in the jungles of the Peruvian Amazon, or the iconic Ka-Bar USMC utility knife, which has served soldiers faithfully since it was released in its modern form in 1942. A good fixed-blade knife is the ultimate multi-tool. It can prepare food and process game. It can be used with a baton to split firewood or to create fine feather sticks for starting a fire in damp conditions. It can be used to build a shelter, administer first aid by cutting bandages, and, yes, in the most dire of last-ditch situations, it can serve as a formidable close-quarters weapon.
Its key features are its simplicity and its durability. There are no moving parts to break, no magazines to lose, no ammunition to run out of. Its strength is its sheer indispensability. You can survive without a firearm. Surviving without a good blade is an order of magnitude more difficult. Are there weaknesses? From a purely defensive standpoint, its primary weakness is that it requires you to be dangerously close to a threat to use it effectively. It is a contact weapon, which is always a last resort. It also requires skill to use effectively for utility tasks without injuring yourself or dulling the blade. A quality, reliable, fixed-blade survival knife, such as an ECE-4 or a Becker BK2, made from tough carbon steel like 1095, might cost between $100 and $200. There are countless stories of survival, from downed pilots to lost hikers, where a good knife was the single most critical piece of gear that saw them through. It is the primal tool, an extension of the hand and the will. For our number 4 spot, we move into the realm of precision. This is the tool for when one shot, perfectly placed, must solve the problem from a distance. We are talking about the bolt-action rifle. While a well-equipped semi-automatic rifle can be surprisingly accurate, the domain of ultimate precision, consistency, and rugged simplicity often belongs to the bolt action. Think of icons like the Remington Model 700, which was introduced in 1962 and became one of the most prolific and customizable platforms in history. Or consider more modern marvels of engineering, like the Tikka T3X from Finland, which has earned a devoted following for its legendary out-of-the-box accuracy and buttery-smooth action. These rifles, often chambered in versatile and widely available calibers like the .308 Winchester or the ballistically gifted 6.5 Creedmoor, are the scalpels of the firearms world. Their strength lies in their simple, strong, and fixed breech design. Because the breech is manually locked and unlocked, every bit of gas pressure is used to propel the bullet, and the action is less susceptible to being fouled by dirt, mud, or ice. A bolt action demands a more deliberate shooting process. It slows the shooter down, forcing a focus on breath control, trigger squeeze, and follow-through, which often translates to better first-shot placement. For survival, this means a higher probability of a clean, ethical harvest if hunting is necessary, conserving precious ammunition. In a defensive context, it means the ability to neutralize a distant threat with surgical precision. The primary weakness is, of course, their slower rate of fire compared to semi-automatic rifles, making them less ideal for engaging multiple targets at close range. However, for a dedicated marksman, one well-placed shot can often be decisive. A good quality hunting bolt-action rifle can be found for $500 to $1,500, while precision-focused chassis rifles can climb much higher. Imagine a scenario in a remote, post-disaster environment. The ability to take down a deer from 300 yards not only provides critical sustenance, but does so with a single conserved round. That is the quiet confidence a reliable bolt-action rifle brings. We're just past the halfway point in our countdown. I've noticed many of you are watching this on your big screen televisions, and I appreciate you making us part of your living room. If you have a moment, grab your phone and open the YouTube app. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these first 4 picks. Which one do you believe is the most underrated? Drop a comment. I read as many as I can. Entering our top 3, at number 3, is the platform that has defined the modern era of civilian rifles, often called the modern musket, the AR-15. Originally designed by Eugene Stoner for Armalite in the late 1950s, his use of space-age materials like aluminum and polymers was revolutionary. Later adopted by the U.S. military as the M16, its civilian counterpart, the AR-15, has become one of the most popular, versatile, and capable rifles in American history. Typically chambered in 5.56 by 45 mm, or .223 Remington, these rifles are exceptionally lightweight, highly ergonomic, and produce very low recoil, making them easy to shoot accurately for a wide range of individuals. Their single greatest strength is their modularity. The AR-15 is often called Legos for adults for a good reason. With a common lower receiver, a user can swap out upper receivers, barrels, stocks, handguards, optics, and accessories to configure the rifle for almost any conceivable need. It can be a compact, close-quarters home defense carbine, a lightweight patrol rifle, or a long-barreled precision-designated marksman rifle. This adaptability is why it is so favored, not just by civilians, but by law enforcement and elite military units around the world. It is a proven, reliable, and effective platform. However, the AR-15 is not without its considerations. From a purely practical standpoint, Its primary weakness in a survival context can be its direct impingement gas system, which, while lightweight and simple, can be more susceptible to fouling if not properly maintained compared to piston-driven systems. It also finds itself at the center of political debate, which can create legal complexities in some jurisdictions. Quality, entry-level AR-15s can be found starting around $700, with high-end, custom-built rifles easily exceeding $2,000. There are countless accounts, from ranchers protecting livestock from predators at a distance to homeowners defending their property during emergencies, where the accuracy, capacity, and low recoil of an AR-15 proved invaluable. Our runner-up at number 2 is the tool that balances speed, capacity, and portability, and for many is the one firearm they can keep with them most often: the dependable semi-automatic pistol. While a long gun commands respect, the reality of many defensive encounters is that they unfold with frightening speed, often in confined spaces. This is where a reliable handgun comes into its own. Consider the Glock 19, which emerged from Austria in 1988 as a compact version of the revolutionary Glock 17. Its polymer frame and simple safe-action striker-fired system were initially met with skepticism, but quickly set a new global standard for reliability, simplicity, and ammunition capacity. Or look at the Sig Sauer P320, which, after rigorous testing, was adopted by the U.S. military as the M17 and M18. Its innovative, modular design, where the serialized fire control unit can be swapped between different grip modules and slides, offers incredible adaptability. These pistols, most commonly chambered in the ubiquitous 9mm Luger cartridge, provide an excellent balance of manageable recoil, sufficient terminal performance, and standard magazine capacities that often exceed 15 rounds. Their key feature is their ease of use under extreme stress. With no complicated manual safeties to fumble, the operation is simple: point and shoot. Their widespread adoption also means there is a massive aftermarket for holsters, accessories, magazines, and, most importantly, quality training. For home defense, a pistol can be kept securely accessible, and in a survival scenario, it is the one tool you can easily carry while performing other tasks. Its weaknesses? Well, marksmanship with a pistol requires dedicated and perishable practice. Compared to a long gun, which is fired from the shoulder, a pistol is inherently less stable, less powerful, and more difficult to shoot accurately, especially at distances beyond a few yards. A new Glock 19 might cost you between $500 and $600, while a SIG P320 could be in the $550 to $700 range. The pistol is what you use to fight your way back to your rifle, or it's the tool that's on you when the threat appears and you have nothing else. And finally, at our number 1 spot, when we discuss home defense, there is one sound that echoes in the night, a sound that is universally understood, regardless of language: the unmistakable shuck-shuck of a pump-action shotgun. For generations of Americans, this is the quintessential tool for protecting the home, and for very good reason. Take the Mossberg 500 series, first appearing way back in 1961, or its equally legendary counterpart, the Remington 870, which debuted even earlier in 1950. These firearms are American icons, trusted for decades by civilians, countless law enforcement agencies, and military units. Their primary strength lies in their rugged simplicity and unwavering reliability. A pump action has a manually operated slide, which means the user is in complete control of the cycling process. This makes them incredibly forgiving of a wide variety of ammunition, from light birdshot to heavy magnum buckshot or slugs. Covered in mud, neglected, or run hard, a quality pump action like the military-grade Mossberg 590A1 just keeps on working. The sheer versatility is another massive advantage. A 12-gauge pump can be loaded with 00 buckshot for close-quarters defense, a solid slug for more precise, longer-range shots out to 100 yards, or even less lethal rounds. But perhaps its greatest strength is psychological. That distinct racking sound is a powerful, visceral deterrent that can often stop a threat in its tracks without a shot ever being fired. Of course, they are not without their considerations. Recoil, especially with defensive 12-gauge loads, can be stout and intimidating for smaller-framed or new shooters.
And their tubular magazines typically hold fewer rounds than a semi-automatic rifle or pistol. Prices for a solid Mossberg 500 or Remington 870 can range from around $350 for basic models to upwards of $700 or $800 for tactical versions. It is the old reliable truck of the firearms world. It may not be fancy, but it will always start, and it will always get the job done. And there you have it. 7 essential tools, each filling a different role in a complete preparedness strategy. From the silent, reusable potential of a crossbow to the undeniable close-range authority of a 12-gauge shotgun, the goal is not to live in fear, but to live with capability. True readiness is a mindset of self-reliance, a commitment to protecting what matters most when no one else can. The world is an unpredictable place, but our ability to prepare, to adapt, and to protect what we hold dear is a constant. But this list is just a starting point. I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 tools do you consider the absolute most critical? And more importantly, what essential item did we miss? If you're watching on your TV, pull out your phone and let us know in the comments. Every piece of shared wisdom strengthens this community. If you found this analysis valuable, please consider liking this video and sharing it with someone who might benefit from it. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to BTG Gun & Man for more in-depth discussions. Always remember to be a responsible and informed owner. Check your local laws and seek out quality training. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one. This is BTG Gun & Man, signing off.